is a Monday, and today was a good day. Um, we didn't have to use our AK, right? uh, yeah, welcome to Tully Television here. We're trying to keep up the schedule of a weekly live stream here on the Monday nights at 7 p.m. Tonight, I might keep it a little shorter than I did last week. I went like about an hour and a half last week. I might keep it under an hour. I'm a little under the weather. I'm starting to get this head cold type of situation going on. But um, for anyone who's stopping by, thank you. Everyone who's been stopping by, thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing all that beautiful stuff. I hope that today or any day that you come across Tully Television is the day that we earn that subscription. I just wanted to give my thoughts on a few general things that I may have touched on last week or in videos, and just kind of do like a general wrap up if I did talk about them, and to kind of give a little mini preview on a comic that I'm going to be reviewing in the next few days. Well, I'm going to be reading in the next day or two, and then doing the video in a few days. Uh, Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. It's a love story in the end of the world, obviously. Um, I like that little uh, quilt dress there. It's a 15 issue miniseries that's going to span, I guess, over the next year and a half. It's only at issue 2. And it is written, I want to give credit to, written by Jason Alexander, uh, Alexandre uh, as Alexandre Teffin KG as the artist, and Lee Lowridge as the colorist. Um, these two characters, Esmeralda and Meso, come across each other. They want to fall in love with each other, and then the story leads into the next several decades. And it seems like at the end of this issue, we're going to see kind of more of why people are after Esmeralda from the origin point. Because as we've seen at the end of issue 1, people were looking for her in the future because she was building something. So they were asking or torturing Meso about where she would be in building this thing. He was refusing, and at that point in the story, he is an old man. So the 15 issues are going to be broken up, 5 issues covering an arc, and then just wrapping up by issue 15. I like it so far. I did flip through this. I do like the art. The writing seems to be pretty interesting because it does seem to. You have to kind of pay attention to when you're reading because it doesn't say when time moves forward or backwards, or where you are, or where you might be in the time. Um, because in issue 1, it started off at when they met, but shows only the farthest in the timeline they went was when they were asking Meso where Esmeralda was. And that was, at that point, he looked like he was 50 years old. So, and yeah, I just like the concept, and I think that it's an interesting story that is going to intrigue you as well, I hope. Let me know down below what you think. Another series I've been collecting primarily before this, it's up to issue 9 now, is Legion of X. with David Haller and Nightcrawler. I haven't really started any review videos of that, but I feel like I'll eventually get to that. Oh, my leg is itchy there. I do feel like I'll eventually get to it because, again, the first part of the series was a little slow. I thought they were trying to do a little bit too much, but I think that they settled into a story. Once that Avengers X Men Eternals tie-in happened, and they kind of took a break after the first story, is when it started picking up a little bit now, because it's explaining what happened to Banshee and his change into the Spirit of Variance. He's going by a new name that I don't want to get wrong at the moment, but yeah, he is going by a different name. Nightcrawler now has little horns, and the rest of the Legionnaires have various other little tasks to do, like Pixie and Juggernaut. Again, Legion, David Haller. In the recent issue 8, they kind of showed what Doug Locke would look in David Haller's universe called the Altar, and I think that's a pretty cool looking take on Warlock. And yeah, so I kind of, I'm kind of like digging the current issues. So it kind of made me want to get into that too. For anyone again stopping by, thank you. I can't really see. Maybe I can see here. Yes, maybe I can see that. Yeah, I can't really see much. I don't know. Because if anyone is writing, I can't really see the messages offhand. But I do thank anyone for watching and stopping by. Um, Another thing I want to touch on, which I missed out on this, and I'm a little all shucks about it because I was kind of meant to see it, but time constraints prevented me from catching this movie, Megan. Initially, it was advertised as like maybe a horror movie, or led you to believe that it was a horror movie, and you're thinking maybe it's kind of like a Chucky movie where a robot or an AI kind of takes his parameters and directives too seriously. And from what I hear, it's making a ton of money. It's like 30 million plus at the moment. And I didn't think I was going to take out Avatar because that seems to be a really big time movie at the moment, Avatar 2. And to be honest with you guys, not that anyone who is a fan of Avatar 2 or the Avatar movies, I don't want to make it seem like I wouldn't understand why you would be a fan of those movies. I'm just not too big into wanting to see them offhand. Again, they seem to be really big movies. The technical wonders, no doubt about it. Really do. I really give credit to how it looks, and I'm sure the story's better than I'm giving it credit for. But Chrissy's interested in catching Avatar 2, so I probably will eventually, uh, not have to watch it, but watch it with her. Because I am at this point curious about, the hubbub with it, because apparently there's going to probably, from what I'm hearing, three other movies that come with it after this. Excuse me, guys. I'm dealing with a little bit of agita today. There's three more sequels on deck for this movie, so it's going to be around for quite some time, especially if it's going to keep being these vast amount of times between each movie. The first one was 14 years ago. The sequel just kind of came out a month ago, so we'll see when 3, 4, and 5 come out. But yeah, so I don't want to like necessarily say that these movies are bad or anything. I just never had a genuine interest in you know catching them, and I'm generally a James Cameron fan. I've been a fan of Terminator, um, Aliens. He did Aliens too, so it's not like he's made movies I'm not a fan of, or it's not that I'm not a fan of his technical prowess, but yeah, it's just the Avatar movies just were never. But there's a ton of people out there that love them. I mean, the box office is really matching something that he knows what he's doing, and I think that they're even trying to make it these like generated where it looks even that you can even do it where if the face is underwater even and it doesn't look distorted. It's insane what he's trying to do. So I'll definitely give him credit for that type of stuff. You know, uh, but I mean, he's the expert, not me, I guess. Uh, the one thing I did want to talk about, uh, and I know I don't really cover wrestling stuff here too much. I mean, occasionally it's not like out of the ordinary when I don't. Like when I do cover wrestling, it's not like, oh, okay, that's weird. No, as you can tell, if you're been around for a while, I've occasionally done wrestling videos, and so the topic of wrestling hasn't always been a stranger around here on the channel. So I want to talk a little about Vince McMahon coming back to the WWE, and for those of you unsure what was going on necessarily, he retired back at the end of the summer due to allegations of payouts and eventual evidence of said payouts to women due to certain actions that were happening at the job. Some with his wife's office literally down the hallway, you know, and this information came out, and it's kind of hard for this information not to come out when you go from a private company to a public company. Private company, you're more likely to be able to have certain things covered up. Um, so he eventually stepped down, and in an interview months later on, he said that he wanted to come back to the WWE because he felt like he had gotten some bad advice about leaving and retiring. And you would think that some of these people that were advising him were his own family. So he's kind of throwing shade maybe at his own family of giving him bad advice about stepping down. And that's all right if he felt that way. I don't think that that was the intention. I think it was just for the betterment of the company, the betterment of the family name, that it's not outside the realm of possibility that maybe Vince McMahon did something of these things. Maybe I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe, um, but you would think that at some point, why would he step down from the position? But he did, and he wants to come back. And the reason why he's able to come back, even with those allegations lingering and the payouts uh, paid out and everything, like there were real payouts paid out millions of dollars, like tens of millions of dollars to people that to kind of not talk about whatever it is that they wanted to talk about publicly. And it's it's pretty wild because you know he does have majority of the share where even if everyone else with the rest of the shares try to team up and take them out of the company, they're not even able to do that. The way they were able to do the stock options were there's two type of stocks, stock B and stock A. Stock A was for the regular Joe Schmoes, the Joan and John Q. Citizen that wants to own a little piece of the WWE and just chuckle to themselves thinking they're the boss, applesauce. You know? And the Class B stocks were for only the McMahon family members and any descendants of the McMahon family. And so basically, not even Triple H can own Class B stock because he's not like a blood relative of the McMahon family. His daughters are. So they will be able to have those stock B options even now, probably just not having like a representative cast their vote or whatever like that. Because that's where this lies too. The board of directors, their primary goal as board of directors of a company is to maximize profits by any means necessary. And if you're going to be around costing us tens of millions of dollars because you can't keep your pickle from getting tickled, maybe you should take a break, actually. And he's not ready to take a break. And the reason why, even more, he's able to come back even outside of the stock options is that, well, more with the stock options, I should say, sorry, is that some TV deals are due for the WWE to be on TV here and there, merchandising and this and that. Contracts are to be renewed, and he won't sign off on any deals unless he's there negotiating the deals and taking the check. And so they basically got to let him come back because that's going to eventually be what's best for the investors overall. Because if he doesn't sign off on deals and then nothing's getting sold, no television's being done, no ad revenue, I know how to talk to you know how to talk. No ad revenue, none of this stuff really then is bringing in any money to raise the stock from $25 or whatever it is at the moment to $40, $50, $100. No one's expecting the stock to go to like astronomical proportions, but there's room still to put out a quality product, and that one person can hold up a product so much to where people don't even want to work there. Like it's crazy how people who he fired now work there because he left and they were invited back because of their talent or perceived talent and stuff. And the product was getting a little better. It wasn't anything spectacular. They weren't really. It wasn't like they went from 1 million viewers to 1.5 million viewers after Vince left, but it went up. 100,000 viewers, 200,000 viewers, and it's never going to go back to those days of 10 million to 12 million viewers. I don't think it's ever going to reach those heights. But I think that there's still an audience that you can still gain back. Just there's got to be changing the guard sometimes, and especially with you, this dude who is accused of what he's being accused of, and kind of has shown himself to be not a good character on screen or off screen. It almost makes you feel like sometimes people may not be too off uh, on certain things. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my views on Vince McMahon. And I hope that, seriously, when he is done renegotiating these deals that he's done and leaves again and doesn't get interfered um, with any creative or anything like that. See, I seen that. I seen that. I know you said something. Oh, I'm such a boomer with this stuff. I'm kind of like, I think I seen something down there. It vanished on me. It was a vanishing message that I will see when I go back. Or for this. Um, and I want to kind of laugh at myself too a little bit because now that this is looking at me, uh, like most people, I'm sure I'm not like unique in this. I have a dungaree jacket that I wear occasionally, and I kind of like to wear it a lot. And I thought that I would start getting um, patches for the denim jacket to put on, and maybe one day if I can ever afford some sort of airbrushing on the back, get something silly airbrushed on the back of it. But I thought we had an iron here, and I was like, I'm going to start buying those little iron press-ons. I'm going to buy silly little patches. And I finally bought the first patch and it came and I got super excited. I was like, oh man, yeah, yeah. So I started looking for the iron. And I'm looking and looking. I'm looking in all the areas where I thought we would have an iron. And finally I was like, man, the iron's got to be somewhere. And I asked Chrissy, like, where's the iron? And she's like, we don't have an iron. We used to have an iron, but it got lost in the move. Like when we first moved here, we never got a replacement one all this time later. But I thought I'd show the patch, and I'm disappointed I wasn't able to put this up on my jacket. I mean, I know eventually will. I'm not going to buy, um, what do you call it, an iron eventually. But those are the type of patches I want to start putting on the jacket. It's just random pizza mohawk skulls. Oh, I remember what else I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about Pregnant Joker because I'm looking at it. Pregnant Joker. Yeah, and it's not really Pregnant Joker, but it is Pregnant Joker in a way. It's in a backup story of a comic book called Joker: The Man Who Stopped Laughing, and each issue so far is broken up into two different stories, and the backup stories have um, been I don't think canon, but it has been Joker trying to hit on Supergirl and then eventually Zatanna currently, and I'm not too sure if it has anything in connection with the first story that's going on. And like I said, I'm not too sure. They're trying that I'm hearing it's not canon, and people are really getting riled up, and it's for me, it's trashy cash grab. I don't know, and it has nothing to do with. Um, Joker is too selfish to, in my opinion, anyway. Joker is too selfish to want to have an actual child himself physically and tote around all the time. And I think that he would want to have, say, in this guy's Santana carry his child, and that she takes full responsibility of the child, where he can say he's the father of the child and this is his child, but he's not taking real responsibility of it. Joker is um, above any responsibility, and to uh, want to cheer for Joker to have a child anyway. I'm a Joker fan, obviously, but I don't know if Joker is the right dude to be having a baby, a child anyway, and not something that would be uh, I would want to have happen because I would feel very worried about that child's mental health and you know how the morals and ethics of that child and what it's going to grow up to be down the road as an adult raised by the Joker is not, again, like I said, something that you would want to celebrate. And yes, the story itself, in a general sense, has been uh, written as a comedy, silly comedy, juvenile comedy. I just think that it still wouldn't. I don't know. I just still don't think it fits Joker's uh, mo as far as he's too selfish in the sense of wanting to control his own. Control. He wants to control those around him, and a child would take him away from that. A child would take him away from his battle with Batman, his battle of just messing with the people around him. Right, Joker. I'm gonna step up, bring back bastard. Right, Joker. I'm gonna step up for cigarettes. You know, personally, that's why I think that the idea is trash. You know what I mean? I don't know about other comic book channels or reviewers or fans feel about why they think that this particular idea is trash. I think that it's you're right. It's right that in the sense that Joker would think that having a child is cute in a sense, but totally not want to go through any of the physical attributes whatsoever. Even if male, he could physically have children. I don't think that he would even want to do that. Again, it interferes too much with his time to want to screw with the people around him on a consistent basis, and a child takes your time away from going to the supermarket. Forget about trying to create Joker toxin to poison Gotham's water supply, and you got little Joker Junior over here, JJ, crawling in the laughing fish. You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's it. Please, please. I just think that it's too silly of an idea for me, and it's okay if people like the story. Again, I do love comics for that reason. Not everyone's gotta love everything, and the comic books I talk about or the characters I talk about, people might think are trash and everything. Joker would rather kid, right? Joker would rather kid. Didn't you know? Joker might even want to be a kid. You know what I mean? He might even allow himself to be a kid. But the whole point of even in the own story was he wanted Santana to carry the child and have bear him a child and her turn tricks. It's not everyone's bugging out about the Joker pregnant too, but no one calls out the Joker for being misogynistic about calling her out to do tricks. In his marriage proposal to her to start a family. He can stop doing crimes and she can go be a lady of the night was his proposal. Typical Joker, you know what I mean? But I mean, I get it. Joker is a character that maybe you can try to do certain things with, and for me, this didn't really stick with me too much. Joker would rather kidnap another hero or villain kid and turn them right. Like if it's gonna be anything in regards to children, It's going to be more like him, like what he did in the Batman Beyond movie, where he took Tim Drake and he programmed him for years down the road to be a copy of the Joker, or like you said, what he did to Superman, and then Justice Story, these type of things. He's not one for. He's an agent of chaos, and if he was to have children, I don't think it would be done intentionally, like that. And again, yes, technically he wasn't pregnant. It was some reverse wonky spell that Santana did on him, and then he barfed up his weird Clayface baby. I don't know if they're gonna really keep up with that backstory. I don't know if it's really gonna be canon down the road in any sort of story. It could just eventually be one of these Elseworlds type of stories where Joker just likes to be beat up by powerful women and was able to vomit a child out of his mouth. I guess. I guess interesting universe. I'd rather see Batman and Joker have a baby then. Or if we're gonna do that, why not go with the obvious? you know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know with that. Uh, Joker, and then the Joker sequel, Joker 2. Uh, Now I'm kind of thinking about Joker related stuff. We're gonna get that as a sequel. Still really no. They probably don't have much filmed at the moment to really show what they got planned. I guess it is a musical, and I'm kind of really curious how they're gonna handle that. Is it going to be only partially music? Is it going to be fully music? I'm hoping that, uh, man, because musicals for me are kind of iffy. Like, it really, as an example of not minding musicals, even though that this person that this movie was based off of was a horrible person, uh, that's just the chair. The Greatest Showman on Earth was to me a great musical based on the Barnum Paley Circus. But I think the guy that started that circus was kind of a jerk face to his circus as opposed to what they're trying to show on screen of him being friendly and uplifting to them. But that, as a general aesthetic of a musical, I didn't mind because I liked the music. I liked the story that they did present. Um, but, like, for an example of a musical I didn't like, Sweeney Todd kind of just threw me off with the music and stuff. And I don't know why. I'm a Johnny Depp fan and I like Tim Burton stuff. And I like the lady that was in the movie. I think she's a great actress. Helen Carter, Helen Bohemian Carter, something to that degree. She was Bellatrix in Harry Potter. I know she was in a ton of other stuff, and she's literally been in everything. Um, yeah, so yeah, that was just a really for me. I thought that that movie was going to be so something else that wasn't, and it just threw me off to not want to watch it and finish it. I was like, ah, ah. And another thing I was thinking of today when I seen an ad for this movie, I know I'm all over the place tonight because I'm trying to uh, think of everything before I start wrapping it up for the night because It's been a long week, man. Long week here at the Television House. I'm sure it's been a long week with you guys too. Um, and I'm just glad to be here to help people get through the day and have a good time. And if you are, hit that subscribe button. If you're liking what you're seeing, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the comment, whatever it is, you know. Um, I just wanted to also, thinking of the Joker stuff. I I'm kind of still wanting to do a series on some of the better Jokers, some of the worst Jokers, because I think that which like I felt like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is gonna be up there with the first movie, and I'm worried now that the sequel is gonna bring that stock down a little bit, and it makes me wonder, like, I wonder if Heath Ledger was around for the last movie. I wonder how that movie would have turned out. Would have the Joker been the same, or was it legendary because of what happened in the quest of the role and what happened surrounding Heath Ledger and his passing? If he would have been able to get a sequel, I wonder if it would have been as highly regarded as the first performance. And I'm wondering the same for Joaquin Phoenix, his return on the Joker, because he didn't initially want to do a return on the Joker. Maybe Heath Ledger would have been up for a return, because I think there was some sort of scene or two that was going to have him in the last movie, interacting with Scarecrow and Bane and stuff like that. They would have been the top three probably of deciding what to do and who's leading what part of the criminal organization and kicking it up ultimately to Bane. But yeah, I'm just really wondering because I wonder if Joaquin Phoenix's ranking for Joker is going to go down a little bit if the sequel doesn't do well, making Heath Ledger's Joker and Caesar Romero for me was a great Joker, man. I loved him as Joker. But that's my thoughts. I'm thinking about maybe doing a list of uh all the actors who played the Joker and comparing. That's gonna be a lot. That would be a long project to do. There's a lot of guys who played the Joker, and then you gotta do animated Joker. You gotta do video game Joker. A lot of Jokers, man. No joke, bro. It's no joke. But you let me know down below who your favorite Joker is and why. But yeah, guys, I think that I'm going to, like I said, wrap it up. I don't know. What you deleted me? As always, guys, I thank you all for stopping by. And until next time, peace, Snookums.